The logic of specialization and gains from trade extends from two individuals with different opportunity costs of producing goods and services. If we can specialize along the lines of comparative advantage, the individuals are going to have more. This logic extends to towns. You know, if Forest Grove tried to do everything for itself, it'd be worse at pretty much everything. Worse off than we are now. We can grow more hazelnuts than most people and make printed circuit boards, and of course Forest Grove is largely a bedroom community for Hillsborough, but we can make computer chips in our region and trade them with people in other towns and regions that do other things more cheaply, more efficiently, we might say, than we do. Well, same thing, trade between states. Oregon can export Pinot Noir and import, Florida orange juice. That just doesn't grow here, and we're both the better for it. That same logic extends to international exchanges. Indeed, international exchanges are people making mutually beneficial trades. They just happen to be on other sides of national borders. So they wouldn't make the trade if they didn't expect it to make them better off, the people involved. Nevertheless, we see a lot of controversies surrounding international trade, exporting jobs and the like. It's in the news just about every day. And let's talk a little bit about why there's so much controversy. One thing to realize is that as nations engage in trade, as trade becomes freer, maybe because of a free trade agreement, maybe because just internet communication makes it easier to have a Bangladeshi do a tax return. But as trade becomes more prevalent, there's going to be some winners. The people in, say, let's just use a United States centric approach, the people that get their taxes done more cheaply, there's other sectors of the economy that are doing better because of trade, even while some tax preparers might be losing their jobs. So the people that are getting hired in those other sectors are winning. There's always winners and losers with trade. With trade, we do more of what we have a comparative advantage in, but less of what we have a comparative disadvantage in. And so there's always winners and losers. The winners consumers always get lower prices, but the winners are also the people that get hired into sectors that are expanding with trade. And there are domestic sectors in every free trade agreement, every event that's opened up trade. There's some winners at home and some losers at home. Consumers always are getting lower prices, but also people getting hired on to the expanding sectors are winning as well. But there's losers. If your sector is shrinking, then there's going to be a lot of your coworkers and maybe you too that are getting laid off, and that stinks. If in economics we know that the winners are winning more than the losers are losing. So on net, trade is generally beneficial for the economy, but if you're losing your job, it's very small consolation to know that somebody's getting hired at more than what you were making probably, and that just isn't much compensation. Also, we'll leave it at that for now. I'm going to come back to this point in the next screencast as well. So again, the winners are winning more than the losers are losing. But if you're a loser, or in your social group, people tend to have social groups that where people have similar skills and similar jobs, and chances are there's a lot of people in one social group are among the losers, and somebody else's social group maybe is a bunch of winners. Who knows? But if you're the one of the losers, it's small satisfaction to know that somebody elsewhere is winning as you're losing. The other argument in economics, there's plenty of arguments in economics about trade. But even if we concede, and most economists do, that the winners are winning more than the losers are losing and the nation's getting more wealthy, still, it does matter. The distribution of income does matter. And that is to say, $1 extra for Bill Gates is going to have a different impact on happiness than $1 for Phil Reuter or for somebody a lot poorer than I am. So what if, Bill Gates is, Bill's a good guy, I'm sure, and I hate to pick on him, he's just so recognizable as a rich person. But what if, he wins $1 million and I lose $20,000? Well, maybe that extra million lets Bill Gates buy a yacht that's, 10 foot longer or 20 feet longer. And, good for him. He's happier looking out there at his yacht. He can have more celebrities as guests, But by how much does his happiness really go up? Meanwhile, I had a little bit of a glitch there, but meanwhile, let's say there's some poor person that's losing. They're losing a lot less than the rich person's winning, but for them, the loss means getting kicked out of their home. They lose health care. They're poor, and they've just gotten poorer. Well, we can argue that loss of $20,000 leads to a much larger and negative change in happiness than extra feet on a yacht. So just saying that in dollars the system gets more dollars by trading, that's not enough. Distribution does matter, and if the people that are winning were already wealthy, chances are the increase in their happiness from becoming more wealthy, it's not zero, but it's smaller than the increase in misery of people being kicked out of their homes. So this is the line of argument. And in the next screencast, I'm going to talk a little bit about the range of policy options to try to improve on the situation without reducing people's incentive to work, which is a real important consideration as we think about policy.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.